Oh, we're recording now. Good. Right. So, hello everyone. Hope everyone is well. It's me again, Andrew Richardson. So today I'll be going over employability and careers in the sport and fitness industry. This is something like I'm quite passionate about as well, because I sort of feel students should be made more aware of what is out there for use. As some of you are going to be newly graduates, and others maybe in your first and second year, not quite sure what you want to do yet, which is fine. That is totally fine. So I'm just going to go through what I've done, how I've tried to market myself to get to where I want to be, and like what I enjoy doing, and maybe that may give you some ideas. And then the second half is really just me giving you some advice, some cases where you can perhaps look into, and I'll give off some different ideas, pointers, and tips as well. So this isn't very much like this is the only sort of thing. Again, if I'm in like one of the practical sessions with you and Will, feel free just to ask me a question or ask me in my email too as well. So I'll get started and get sharing. Da-da-da. So yeah, as I said, it's going over different career options, giving you an idea what I did and what I'm currently doing, advice, tips and tricks of the trade, give you a head start on the graduate market. And remember, it's not a degree, it's your degree. So we'll come back to this bit a little bit later on. So where did it all begin for me? So a long time ago, back when I didn't have any grey hair. So 2012, 2013, this was going into my AS levels, A levels at my school back home in Northern Ireland. I didn't have a set job in mind at school. I was very much just like, I kind of want to do sport, but I don't know what, you know. My school, my parents were very helpful. They spoke with friends. Obviously, I got in contact with the career service in my school about getting different placements and stuff. So I looked at primary and secondary schools, looked at physio clinics, and I managed to get a placement with Ulster Rugby, but more on their media side and a bit of strength and conditioning as well. So again, there's pictures of me here. I got to interview like the players and stuff. What was going on? Got to train them. Got to give them some advice. And I thought that was really cool. At the time, for me, I was big into my rugby and everything. But beside all that really good experience I got, like my A levels didn't go as planned. So I went A, B, and E, which obviously hearing that you're sort of thinking like, okay, something's obviously gone wrong, drastically wrong in one of them. And what actually happened was, everyone who did biology in my school at that time, we got taught the wrong board. So everyone messed up one of their A levels. So I was about a C in biology. I got the A in PE and the B in the ICT, and like I went from C to an E, and guys who were on an A went down to a C or D. You know, and obviously everyone's parents were they were very very angry at this, and but I didn't. Obviously, was given options to repeat the year and stuff, but I just didn't want. I just wanted to go. I wanted to leave. Want to become my own person. That might be my own man, really. You know, and with respect to the grades, I just wanted to go. That was it. So from all my experiences, you know, the placements and the sports I did at school and my A levels, I wanted to apply what I'd learned, and I wanted to get out work in sport, but in a practical sense where I can actually help people. Because I heard from other friends or other guys from my school. Oh, sorry. Whenever I'm saying guys over and over, it's an all male school I was at. And it was like an all male sports school, and a few of them, maybe 2 or 3 years older than me, that they had done some sports degrees. There was no practical in them, so they again. I learned a lot from my like senior peers as well, just about what to look for and what to not look for, and then that led me here to Teesside Uni, and I really liked just what the course had on it, how it was advertised and everything. The points I got with my A levels, they were enough to get in. I was like, all right. And at the time, I was thinking, elite sport sounds pretty good, as an athlete and a coach based off my personal experience. And I thought, you know what, I'll go and do it because I can always go over, and if I don't like it, I can always head on back. So my first experience of Teesside Uni was just rocking up on the moving weekend day. Like I never did an open day or anything. I just turned up. So this was on the first year applied sports science course. I don't think that course is here anymore. I think it's just the BSc Sport and Exercise Science thing it's called. So I thought, right, what other things I can do while I'm here? So I was like, okay. So I started like an online training blog, linked in with my own experiences of being elite level athlete, but tying in with my undergraduate course. I set up the university powerlifting team, the Teesside Barbarians, and that gave me access to just me coaching, which was great. Like that, that's probably one of the best things I could have done. So if any of you are doing like your own sport and there's not a club for it, get into the students union and get it set up because they'll provide you the funding. They'll send you on courses because they want to see students be physically active. They want to see communities of people around it, and they want to obviously tie it in with the sports and health courses so students can get placements. So you have this positive domino knock-on effect going on, and it's really really good to do. So that's how I got my so actually that's how I got my level one weight British weightlifting qualification through coaching the powerlifting club, and later on a few years later I then got my a Great Britain powerlifting coaching qualifications as well. I did my level two gym instructor in my own time in my first year of uni, and I got involved with as many sports science projects as a test subject as possible. Spoke with the lab techs, just getting involved, just to try and see what's going on, because you don't know until you actually ask, and to them they'll point you to other things, and you end up building a good working relationship with staff. So they may say, oh, you could be a good fit for this course here or this research project here to give you skills and whatnot, or put you in contact with someone for a placement, perhaps. It's just by evidencing your own experiences. And as well, my first year, I went and started my own blog. So it was called Strength is Never a Weakness. I just thought it was a catchy title. It seemed to have done rather well with it. Then going into my second year, I started working for the gym here, university gym. That was about 8 to 10 hours a week paid work. In terms of outside the university with the powerlifting club, I became student development officer for the Yorkshire and Northeast Powerlifting Federation. Got myself my first internship at a strength and conditioning gym down in Dublin. That was Abs Gym, down in Glasnevin, and that was about 300 hours of work over a month. That was really cool. I really opened my own experiences, and I became an international level two powerlifting coach, which means I could tend to go anywhere in the world with it if I wanted to. And obviously, for personal note, I also got Sportsman of the Year, which was really really nice. But going over give us the mouse, this internship I got, I thought this was really good for me because I wanted only to work with other elite level athletes. I got to work with bodybuilders, strongmen, powerlifters, weightlifters, boxers. I got to work with patients who had MSK. I got to work with people with mental health. Um, uh, who else I got to work? I got to work with people who just come out of surgery, whatnot. So partly with Abs Gym in Dublin, but was also with the Santry Sports Surgery Clinic in Dublin. It was just a couple of days I was there at, and it was just really cool. Working with physios, other sports medicine practitioners, sport and exercise scientists. it was just a really nice holistic approach to getting someone from post-surgery to fully fit, or to screening and testing an athlete. So over the internship, because it wasn't advertised, it was paid or anything, but you would get free food, board, place to stay and everything. And I knew some of the people down this facility, so I put it in, and again, I was like, sweet, it's gonna be awesome. And like I thought it was really good. And the first month, like I busted my ass off. Like I was in the gym, like at like half six, 6 in the morning, most days. Saturdays in from 6 to like 8, 9 p.m. For the first half month, I was working hard, and then towards the end of the internship, I then just got this massive like envelope with money in it. I was like, "What's this?" And the gym owner Jay at the time was just like, "Oh, you've earned it. You've earned the right to be paid." Because he says his sort of biggest thing of doing an internship was like, is going to have this just this kid, just hanging around, not doing anything. But he says that you and a few others, you turned up regularly, you helped improve the athletes, you really helped the atmosphere, you contributed knowledge to the area, you helped write articles, helped coach a range of athletes, you covered for staff in other areas. So I think a lot of people may have this like pretty notion of what an internship is. You're going to get paid well, and it's going to be treated well. A lot of times you just have to do like grunt work in the trenches. You have to work hard, you have to work long hours, but they may not be the most glamorous of things. Where's the mouse again? But I really felt I learned my craft here, and I took that back to obviously the club of the university as coaching, to what I'm doing now as research. I really feel that has helped shape me, who I am as a person, and I brought that back to working in the uni gym too. So third year, I just thought, you know what, I'll start my own online business. There's Richardson's Strength and Conditioning, or RSC. Finished my undergraduate degree with a first class honors. I actually took a few classes of my own, which was nice. Got to help some other students, Um, uh, and I thought if I put this picture in here, not just because I graduated on it, but whenever you're working, like, you take on the best and worst traits of those who you most hang around with. And the people who I study with most often, all of us end up achieving firsts, because we kept pushing each other. We stayed up late in the library, you know, we drank excessive amounts of coffee. We all wanted to be there to like help each other. We proofread each other's essays, we questioned each other, we practiced our presentations, or we help each other practicals, help each other as participants, other people's work. So you guys should all be doing that for each other yourselves. And when you put loads of effort into your own degree or course, you're going to get so much more out of it. When you don't put much in, it's going to be quite painful. It's going to be not as enjoyable. It's going to be quite a slog. Continuing on with that, I actually coached the university team to their second Northern University title, and again, this worked to be over 300 hours of just voluntary coaching. Like, I wasn't getting paid for this. This was just me just doing it for fun. It was great. I got to coach the Irish national team at the World Championships in Texas and the World Universities in Belarus, which was great. And at this year's the same championship, I got two third places. So for me, that's the pinnacle of my own elite athlete career. Like, I don't do it anymore, because not because I'm injured, just other interests, and I rather focus on improving my education and learning, and towards a job that I want to do, that being research or lecturing, something similar to what Will does, or some of your other lecture staff in your own course, or working in a research tank for a hospital or a council to improve the public health of an area. So then got on to my master's, which was sport and exercise, because I didn't want to just keep it in sport. I want to expand my self knowledge into more general health, and I felt doing a master's would help that with me. But alongside this here, I was doing a lot more online articles to help get my name out there and refer back to my own blog. I was doing more personal training in the gym, and by this stage, I had done over 300 hours of paid work there. One of my clients, he was an Irish national team for powerlifting, and another one, he made the GB rowing trials. And also got involved as the course rep for the masters. Again, feedback and stuff from the students, my fellow peers and friends, to the members of staff and ways we could improve it. Got on my first magazine. So there was over 50,000 subscribers to that magazine alone, and by them all getting that, it was nearly as much as how many blog hits I had. So for me, getting my name out to that level of audience was huge. And obviously, I was co-planning with a few other coaches in the UK at the time how to get powerlifting into box. And some of you may actually have just seen, I think it was like, this is February 28th, this is February 27th. It must have been the 25th or 24th. Powerlifting is now in box. It's now been like affiliated, registered. So again, that's for me, that fills me pride that some of the groundwork that I've done has then head to that. My master's work for my dissertation on student independent learning projects led me to do research with Professor Harrison Pope. Where's my mouse? This him there. My good friend and former member of the Powerlifting Club and former student here, Joseph Keane. He now works for the British Criminal Justice System, and some of you may know our senior psychologist in sport and exercise, Laura Fleming. So we all met up in Leeds to look at our few the research projects. This is one which Laura is working on, and this is looking at how does steroid users in the UK perceive GPs. And we use the same scale and methodology which Professor Pope has done with how steroid users perceive their doctors in the States. So it's a comparison paper. But since then, me, Joe, and Laura, we've worked on some other steroid papers and other image and performance enhancing drug research as well. And from that, I had opportunity to do various guest lecturing at clubs, gyms, unis across UK and Ireland within the sport of powerlifting. Then I got onto the PGCE. Check the time. Plenty of time, good. He then got onto my PGCE. Again, this is a career route some of you may be interested in as well. For those interested in teaching, do a PGCE. It's probably one of the best and hardest years of your life. It really stretched me as a educator, as a teacher, but also as an individual. It gave me more confidence of doing public speaking, gave me more confidence, to share education, information, and make me a better coach as well. And again, so this PGC was done at Teesside as well, same as the masters and the undergrad. And this was for post 14 years old and above, so anyone 14 and above. And also, depending on the teaching subjects you may do, you may get some funding for it, or by your own local government. I got funding. Excuse me. I got some funding for it just by being a citizen of Northern Ireland, because they were looking for more teachers at the time. So they funded for half the course for me. I had 3 placements. You get as many placements as you want, as long as they give you enough hours, and some of which depend on the placement you get. You may get some payment out of it, and they may lead to some longer term employment. So I actually got to work in a drug and alcohol clinic in Middlesbrough, down in the Dundas Arcade. So it's the gym in the Livewell Centre. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd floor. It's been a five years since there, so the building may have changed its orientation. And this was great because I got to work with people who are a whole range of groups. Was fantastic, and it sort of got me interested in doing what I'm doing now for my own PhD research. So I got to work with taxi drivers in Middlesbrough who are very sedentary, who had type 2 diabetes. Got to work with people who are quite overweight, irrespective of sex. Got to work with some of the BAME groups, because again, generally based on data and stats, BAME groups are quite sedentary and have a higher risk rate of developing obesity, diabetes, hypertension, whatnot. Got to work with a special needs school. That was really cool. And got to work with prisoners who are coming out of the end of their sentence and they're looking to be readjusted to get back into the community. So they're on like a 12-week program, not because 12 weeks of just an exercise program. It was just 12 weeks to match what else they were doing. They got to go to the gym here. I think it was twice a week outside of the actual gym in the prison. Whatnot. So again, that was really cool. So and during the placement, even though it was all like voluntary, some of the staff left to other work, and I got asked to stay on. So I ended up becoming like the gym lead or the manager of the floor for a month and a half. It was on top of like the 3 months unpaid work. So that was really really cool. Oh, and also I got to work with people who are dealing with substance misuse, which is really cool too. Again, using exercise as a means, and again, I got to like teach some of them about the exercise they were doing and whatnot. Um, and again, one of the placements was our own university sport and exercise science department, teaching them on the physical activity courses. That was a BSc at the time as well. And then I just used the powerlifting club. So again, all three were kept under the banner of health and sport. But the three different types of placements really. So one was very much a sport practical aspect. Other was university style, kind of what I'm actually doing here now, just accept online for everyone. And then a drug and alcohol clinic, very much in person, practical placement based, working with a range of clients from the area. Then 2018-19 got elected as student officer, as president of activities. Again, this was very much more of a management role. Very different type of job. Very slightly different direction, but very useful. Really rounding up to other types of skills. So in terms of like office-based work, management work, how to work within a team in terms of planning projects, get funding, managing budgets, finances, hosting events, policy work. So again, really cool. And again, sorting placements and events for students. As like Will may recall, I'm Paul Chesterton. Like I work quite closely with Paul and Debbie Harris from the sports injury clinic. We worked a lot closely with them too about linking as many sports therapy students to get placements with all the actual sports teams at the time. I think we had nearly 700 students who were actively engaged in sports. I think we tried to get 2 or 3 sports therapists in every single sports team possible, which is really good about getting them more placements. And I actually end up setting up a sports employability career day. So it's more like a public health day for anyone in the School of Health to go to the students' union and to meet local employers and whatnot. So again, I thought that was quite a useful thing. Try and get more sports students, more placements and jobs. And again, this obviously led into obviously the varsity, the Bucks Wednesday events, and working with sports journalism, sports management to then get them in and cover all the games, again, create more placements. And then this tied into obviously some of my own personal interest was creating a master's in esports for the uni as well and running an anti-doping campaign and working part of the university sports strategy group. So very different types of jobs than what I've been doing in the past. But again, this has really helped shape me and help develop me good networks in local area and knowing who to talk to. So I think if you really want to understand a local area or develop your own contacts and networks, get involved with the students union, and even like run for office, because the experiences you will get will shape you for life. So with the contacts I made through the students union by seeing all these like health boards and sports physical activity boards in the area, that helped shape my own PhD proposals, and that ended up getting me onto my actual PhD when I then pitched it to the uni, which they then thought, oh, this is really really good. So since 2019, all through COVID, I've been doing my PhD. It's been a very weird experience, very different, whatnot. And since then, I've got 5 papers published, wrote a piece for the Economist. Was chair of the postgrads student group there. Society, organised events, for students, changing teaching policy, going to different conferences. So again, you can sort of see how all my previous experiences have fed into this, and they've all shaped it. And what I'm at now, I haven't really posted much on my blog ever since starting the PhD, but it's just been taken over in the background, it's helping me get my name out there. So I'm almost at 200,000 views, which I'm amazed, and I'm very, very grateful and flattered that people they will want to read my own work. In terms of the research papers I've got out, 4 currently published, 1 is being published now. And my papers have been read over 1,000 times, have been cited 28 times. And again, those papers came out in 2019 and 2020. Didn't publish anything last year. I did some consultation work for Middlesbrough Football Club, trying to get esports in their arena, or sorry, in their stadium. Working on other research papers. Got my QTLS and associate fellowship, both teaching qualifications. Again, thank you, Will, for giving the opportunity for those last couple of years to do all these sort of classes for students and everything. And again, a couple of things you guys are interested in. I did my level 3 exercise referral and level 4 in diabetes and obesity, both brilliant courses. Really felt they stretched my learning and helped give me some further background knowledge and literature that's actually helped my own PhD. So there are courses outside of the university I end up doing. The QTLS is a qualified teaching learner status, which is now embedded in all PGCEs and at the ones here at the university as well. I had to do mine after I did the PGCE in the first year PhD, because it was only then they were then offering. So I did it as a side course. Again, very worthwhile doing, because it will up your pay grade as a teacher. So definitely do it. And the associate fellowship is really for those teachers, or for those academics and lecturers within a higher education institution who teach there. So that's very much a teaching related to what we do within HE. And I got the opportunity to be on TV to talk about the increased rising use of anabolic steroids in the UK. And current career goals or future career goals, obviously you want a lecture teaching role in uni, but thinking more of research positions. And I definitely want to do more work within a local, where's the mouse, more work within a local authority council for public health to tackle sedentary behavior, because that's very much what my own research is all about. And again, some other personal ones, I want to get my own PhD work out as an actual book, helping people in the area. And again, longer term, time of 40, 45, 50, maybe look at senior academic positions like AD, Dean, whatnot. So that's me. That's enough of me rambling about me, but I hope that gives you an idea, in a short space of time, I have come a long way from a student who had two good A levels and one failed A level, to not really knowing what I want to do in sport, to now knowing what I want to do and then enjoying what I do. And I've moved away from elite level sport to now more public health research and teaching. So yeah, and obviously, if I was teaching this live, again, I'll give you opportunities if you want to ask me questions now about stuff. But if not, you can feel free to ask me questions the next time you see me. Kind of the main reason why I moved away from elite level sport and expand upon it there was more so because I just felt that there would be more employment in public health and physical activity work, or local council level or teaching, than traditional sports science, because of the jobs, and of the differences in pay, salary as well. And the research that I wanted, my own personal interest, it drew me more towards that instead of staying in elite level sport. But the skills I learned shaped me very, very well and helped me are to what I'm doing now. So again, a task you can do in just your own time after this here online lecture. Again, you can just pause the video. With some paper in a Word document, write down a couple areas that you want to work on, like it's personal too. So that could be your ability to write. Sorry, pardon me, excuse me. That could be your ability to write in a scientific way, or just your general grammar, or your public speaking ability, or is it like particular like skill, like your online presence online? Then from the points we're going to cover in the next slide, you can sort of see how you can make these improvements. So, for this again, this is I'm building on my own experiences here, but I think these can really help. So, self-reflection is key. I really, every time I did something, I always went by thinking, how could I make this better? How could I improve upon this? What can I learn from this? What am I not doing that's not quite there yet, but it's still good. I'm getting better at it and whatnot. So for me, like I've only just got this a few months ago, having added in. So I got my chartership status from SIMSPA. So SIMSPA would be my governing body. I know you guys use BASRAT, I believe it's called. So SIMSPA is the Chartered Institute for the Management of Sport and Physical Activity. But it's a bit wordy, but SIMSPA for short. So I got my chartership for being a health and activity practitioner because of my research and my work I'm doing in the community and whatnot. And with that, it required a lot of self-reflection, how and why I'm doing things, how is this going to benefit me, how is it going to benefit people I'm helping, is like what are you taking into account to get people more physically active. And if you recall that the special populations lecture I gave regarding my PhD work, just showed there's so many different barriers as to why and how someone isn't physically active. So always reflect and always think and take your time just to take a step back and think, right, what's the bigger picture here? What am I not seeing or what am I not doing? The next thing is like prepare to make mistakes. I failed so many times trying to get onto courses or to actually even get my PhD. It took me 4 attempts it took me as in like four attempts. One was a different type of PhD entirely. Then I sort of thought, right now I want to do more stuff in public health. I tried for one, didn't get an interview. Tried for another, got an interview, but didn't end up getting it. And then the last one I ended up did. Other stuff, applying for jobs. First year didn't end up getting a couple other jobs in the gym in the area. I think it was on the second or third time I ended up having the job at the university gym. That's not just like education stuff or work. In terms of my own training, when I was competing at a high level, it's by willing to fail and just keep practicing and practicing. I was always willing to ask people who are senior to me and older than me for their own experiences, not just in work or education, but in life, in terms of how can I be a better person? How can I learn from you? How can I actually improve as a public health specialist, public health practitioner, as an academic, as a lecturer? So it's all about willing to be uncomfortable to get better in your own field, and simply to just don't be afraid to ask questions. Um, and then obviously put time, effort, money into developing yourself, because that's a long-term skill, and you can always keep investing in yourself, and you're going to get the rewards out of that as well. And the last one, which I think is really, really key, is that you have to be willing to like outwork everyone. Have to be willing to sacrifice social time, your own spare time, and just plan in advance. Thinking, well, I can't go out every weekend. I can't go out every Wednesday. I have to, plan my time. Everything has to be geared around your career goal and everything. And obviously, if you're going to do your undergrad or your master's or your PGCE, or like to project or job you want to do well, if you've got a good plan or a good vision what you want to do, by putting in the hard work, 6 to 12 months, like a lot of things are going to open up for you. Like a lot of things can actually change if you work hard. Again, I think this one is it's been used more and more now. I know every sort of year I've given this talk to various courses and stuff. The use of social media keeps increasing, and we're now seeing different ones. You can tell this is an old image because TikTok isn't on it. I don't even think LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn isn't even on this one. But yeah, I would heavily use LinkedIn a lot, and the blogger and whatnot and everything. And Facebook's not called Facebook anymore; it's called Metaverse or Meta. But again, use social media to your advantage. It's an image you're trying to create. Sell yourself, sell your passion, what you want to do, how you want to help people. Employers nowadays don't look at candidates' social media profile before they consider them for next round of interviews. And for you, this is your fitness to practice, which can have serious implications. And you've got to be professional at all times, or limit who can see your own feed, like only friends and not like friends of friends and whatnot. I think blogs and articles are a great way to help push yourself out there as someone who could be seen as potential an expert in the area. So they're free, they're simple. You can personalize it to your own writing style. You can use videos, you can use podcasts too. You can share it on various platforms in different forms. You can get asked to write for sites and you can get paid. And this could be another career avenue for some of you in this room here too. LinkedIn, as I like to put it, it's the Facebook of job profiles. You can see what other experiences others have, and you can sort of see who people are connected with, who they work with in or in an organization or a group, and you can on others view you. And you can see who's viewing you, taking interest in your profile, but you can see that others can give you recommendations based on your work and give you strengths to your sort of work. And essentially, it's an online living, breathing CV. And this is something what a lot of employers would look for. So, say, okay, what else haven't you shown me based on the CV or the personal statement or the 1,500 characters or words you've used to describe yourself meeting our uh, job uh, requirements and whatnot. And again, going forward with it, you can explore job roles, researching different careers paths, identifying or organizations, identifying potential contacts, developing your network, exploring your field of study, what you want to do. So those that are job roles, you can like search for people and you can sort of see, okay, what's their job roles, and then sort of compare their LinkedIn profile, see, okay, these individuals all did these sort of types of courses or have these sort of experiences, and they're going to help you research your different career paths. Then you can sort of see, okay, what organizations are then supporting or advertising for these jobs, and through you identifying those contacts, you can add them and follow them, and then your feed gets filled with these individuals who then share other people who they follow, which then develops your own network as well. And then this just adds to your field of your own research field or your actual in your employer sector. And you can sort of see, right, is this where I want to go, or if I do, okay, is there an aspect of this job I like or don't like, or I even you just fire them a message. You can just fire them a message on LinkedIn and say, "Here, I'm thinking about doing this, this, and this. Can we just have a chat? It's possible just to just arrange a call over Microsoft Teams or Zoom." And most people on LinkedIn are very, very. I haven't really had a bad experience on it. You do get the odds like person who would spam you with like trying to do sales and stuff, but other than that, it's really, really good and it's free. Again, TV, YouTube media. So YouTube is probably the easiest way to get noticed in front of a camera. And you just use the internet. It's free. Views. You develop a brand, get subscribers. Regular content means regular followers. You can show a list of exercise you're doing, list of lectures and talks you're then doing. Let adverts on your site, if you do right, you can be a source of in source of income, revenue, whatnot. So yeah, and this one here. So this is just a general one. Again, these are things which you don't need to train for, but you can just do. Just be on time. Be on time says a lot about someone. If someone's on the time, early, plan, prep, it looks good on you. Um, but if not, if you turn up late all the time without really good excuses, it isn't great. If you're patient and you keep at something, it will work. And if you're hardworking and you're consistent with it, you're going to see you're going to get the rewards and the end of it. Keep motivated. Um, keep learning and adapt, learning different skills. If you're obviously from sports therapy, you're learning like management skills, you're learning business skills, you're learning how to speak in front of an audience. Again, willingness to learn and adapt and get outside your norm comfort zone is going to benefit you as a practitioner like even more. And willing to be challenged, willing to do things that are new to you, be professional when you're meeting someone, being professional online and stuff, and you're being accountable for your own actions. You're being honest with like what you're actually doing. There's many things that we could probably all improve in ourselves, but if we're honest with that, we know what we can improve. Then it's looking at okay, how can we improve these things? So for me, I generally would stay up a bit too late working because I get more work done in the evening than I would do throughout the day. So for me, I'm looking to go to bed earlier so I can get up earlier in the morning, and I'll just work earlier in the morning, and that which may also free up more like time for me in the evenings. I can go out with my just go out with my friends more, go to rugby matches, whatnot, or even just go to the gym to socialize one instead of like just doing working all day or training in the morning or the early afternoon. Other things accountable you can look at as well if you're doing like a project. Um, you can sort of be accountable for the timeline, the actual hours you're putting into it, and being honest, and also be able to sort of say, okay, these are the strengths, these are the weaknesses. I'm being like and being willing to like stand up for yourself in your own work and like maybe even tell your own boss and just like say, here, I think this is really good in these areas. However, I think we can improve this. I don't think this has been done as well as what it could be. Just using the right language with it, you know. So, last couple of slides, these are just some of like the cases that you could probably think about for your own career route. So you could do set up your own private business, your own boss, you're self-employed. Slightly off topic. My brother and his girlfriend, they've set up their own business, selling and brewing their own gin. So again, they're doing their own route there. A lot of long hours, lost time just doing it on by yourself. But if you enjoy it and that's what you want to do, it can work. It's just you have to put the hours in, and you just really have to work hard at it. But for you, being on private business, you can bring the actual beds to the clients or the businesses who you want to see who then pay you. You can be obviously affiliated or attached to a group where you can obviously treat them for injuries or general massage inside, let's say, an office building. Again, why people have got neck pain or back pain. You can probably make a good bit of money, go into different offices and say, here, I want to treat your members of staff. Less member staff are off injured. That means more people at work. That means less people taking time off work, which means you're making more profit for your business. It's a win-win for everyone. They may even set up your own space for you. Again, a good way to do this is using online, so like Facebook, Instagram, whatnot. You can work at larger events. So for us, there would be the Great North Run, or you can associate yourself with a number of local sports teams as well. So yeah, this one was therapists on the high street, like a walk-in sports therapy clinic. So again, you can search up that one. Case study 2, the physio route. Again, many physiotherapy students, some of you already probably thought of it, go down the physio route as a master's, or you go back and do an undergrad in it. I know many students here at Teesside will go on and do their physio masters. I think this is a great route, and I know a number of the NHS employers seek physios who've got a sports therapy background due to their extensive knowledge with MSK, and they've got a really good understanding of the human body, whatnot. I won't talk too much about it. I'll let likes of Will and Paul, Nathan, Debbie, and the rest of your staff, the rest of your staff in your course speak in this. But generally, this seems to be quite a common route. And again, another one, you can double up with your sports therapy and rehab by doing like a GP referral and exercise specialist course. So not only you can provide clients with injury rehab or muscle recovery through massage, but having this qualification, you can see you can have GPs in your local area send patients to you for their health needs. like imagine having your level 2 gym instructor, level 3 personal training, a few fitness classes, qualifications to your name with your sports therapy qualification and your exercise referral. You can treat lifestyle related illnesses too, and you can be well sought after and even affiliate yourself to an actual GP practice too. So again, this is something you should look at doing too. And the GP referral course is a brilliant one, and sometimes you can get funding from your local council or a government body to do it as well. And the last one is teaching. So again, some people may go on to teach in secondary schools, grammar schools, academies, teach, either teaching PE or sports science, exercise science, or sports therapy as well. That could be at a college level or teaching at a higher education level as well. And again, it's more of a secure job, you may argue. You could say, probably the same level of security as working in the NHS, the physios too. It's fixed hours. You both have pensions and whatnot. However, both will come with additional work outside the curriculum. Either being associated with sports teams, competing at the weekends, or marking up extra work, doing lectures, prep and everything, or writing up case notes for clients and whatnot. But again, this is just one option anyway. So last few slides. So again, going through all that again, those are just four options, top of what I've shown you, what I've done. But don't be worrying about what the end goal may get. Dietitian, health promotion specialist, GP referral, researcher, PE teacher, lecturer, whatnot. There's loads of different routes out there. Focus on being employable and gaining relevant skills and experience. That's what's going to get you jobs. Because remember, most degrees now, they all give you a range of skills, not just what's in the title of your actual course. And by you doing more within your university outside of your actual course, you're going to get so much more and be more employable than anyone else out there. So here is some tips to get ahead of the competition for courses and jobs. So firstly, CV practice, create different versions of your CV. So I've got ones for teaching, research, anti-doping, strength and conditioning, just so, I'm ready if a job appears online, whatnot. And that way I've got them ready to go and quickly to fire out. Secondly, finding jobs online. So look on the sites such as CIMSPA, Chartered Institute of the Management of Sport Physical Activity, BASRAT, UK Strength and Conditioning Association, BASES, British Association of Sport and Exercise Scientists, Public Health England, UKGov.com, NHS, and your local council, local authority. So that'll be the Tees Valley Combined Authority and Middlesbrough Council, Stockton, Hartlepool, Darlington, Redcar, and Cleveland, and any sort of local health charity or body that deals with sport and physical activity. You have to look, obviously, not just online, but obviously me just walk in and just obviously ask, or just end up through your own placements, end up getting them. Next one, arranging meetings. So definitely just go on that, even just ask people for chats, ask potential mentors, members of staff, ask people who are in the field, kind of a chat to you about, what's it like working in the area. I'm thinking about doing this. And most people would be really, really happy, even just take them out for a coffee, keep planning ahead. Keep planning ahead and thinking, right, what am I going to be doing next year? What I'm going to do in the next two years, next 5 years. Just keep planning ahead and keep setting yourself goals that are both short, medium, and long term. And the more you tick off of them, your longer term goals are going to be really easy and very achievable to actually do. Work experience, just keep getting as many work experiences as you possibly can. The more, the better, and the more you can reflect on, the more you can actually learn. Qualifications, obviously, more qualifications under your belt, the more employable you are. But obviously, get ones that are credible and then may give you points back to your professional body as well. That may give you returns to go to conferences or other courses as well. Shadow others and get a mentor or be or learn off someone. So shadowing, mentoring are kind of are like interchangeable, really. That could be more at a placement where you end up shadow someone and you're being mentored or taught like an actual skill or craft and whatnot. Volunteer like charity runs, sporting events, community centers, whatnot. Be willing to be uncomfortable in your learning. Do things that which you don't like doing, but you know are gonna like help you. So if you hate doing stats at uni, you have to learn stats. You're gonna have to learn the research methods and the research process. If you don't like public speaking, get up and practice doing it. If you don't like working with certain sports, you may actually have to work in certain sports so you can get that first job, but you may actually learn from that sport different skills and uh, training programs, regimes, and protocols that you can apply to other sports as well, and then reflect on it, learn from it, and repeat the process. And here we are. So your ideal job when you start your ideal job when you thought it was when you started uni has probably changed. And you've probably changed because of based on experiences that have shaped you. And this is for the best and for the better. And this will help shape you into your own career, into your own job, or what you want to be doing. Be honest with yourself. If you know you lack a skill, go out and do it and work on it. For years undergrad, I hated stats, but now like I really enjoy it because I've practiced, I've learned, it's great. Um, I still prefer quals at times, but it's all about being uncomfortable and learning. I hated like public speaking as a kid, but now I actually enjoy it. It's fun. Get involved with as many activities as you can, like try and drop in other lectures and other courses, just to sort of like see if it's an open one available. Speak to other members of staff. Ask questions and be curious, and just learn like watch experts in your field. I mean, many academics who publish their own research, you can contact them and they'll happily give you a hand with your own research project if you want to get some general advice. And the last one is just work harder than the person next to you, because end of the day, you're all competing for jobs. So you have to put in the effort if you really want their job. And if you have any questions, you can drop me a line. Uh, yes, so I'll be sending out Will a SWOT analysis sheet, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. Complete it and send it back to me as soon as possible, and we can do one-to-one sessions on your career goal and advice. It'll be attached to this here lecture online. Again, he'll just email out to you all. And if you want to contact me, so emails a.s.richardson@tees.ac.uk, blogs there, LinkedIn's there, Twitter and Instagram. Again, I'm located on the first floor of the Clarendon within Student Village. You won't get into it because of the card access, but I can meet you either in the Garden Cafe or just in the little computer area at the stairs in the Clarendon anyway. So, but again, no, thank you for the opportunity. Let me just give you some advice on careers, again, what I've done and where I'm going, but also sort of ideas and some tips and tricks to help you in your own career. So thank you, and I will see you in the next class.